Hello everybody. This is the recording for our session 4. Session 4 is an online session, so we will not be doing a Zoom class for this session. This is going to be all about the deliverable requirements for our projects in our DITA class. So today we will discuss D1, which is the Easy DITA datasheet, D2, which is the DITA Open Toolkit HTML and PDF file requirements, X1, which is the XLIF DITA Open Toolkit plugin, and then D3, which will be the How to Use Easy DITA tutorial, manual, or help system. So let's talk first about D1. D1, the datasheet that we discussed, will be due in class 7. There's a maximum of 10 points that you can get with that deliverable. Also, there will be a 15-minute presentation. We'll see how that goes in the Zoom class. I may not require that. We'll just see how that goes. D2 will be the DITA Open Toolkit HTML and PDF file, also due in the time frame of class 7, also worth 10 points. And then D3, the How to Use Easy DITA tutorial, manual, or help system, is due in the time frame of class 6, and you will be able to get 20 points for that deliverable, and that we characterize as the final deliverable. And then there's this X1, which will coincide with the final exam, and that will be due the same week as the final exam. So D1 is, the steps to do D1 will be to create in Easy DITA, the content management system, a new product data sheet. We can look at the data sheet here as a go-by for the data sheet that we will be creating. So take a look at that. So basically this data sheet has the form and the features of all of the things that we need to include in our data sheet, more or less, and I'll go over that as well. Okay. Grad students will have an extra requirement, and that will be to compile the data sheet into DocBook using the DITA Open Toolkit, and I'll go over how to do that. The evaluation method will be that each part, as specified in these slides, 1 through 5, is worth 2 points. Each missing or incomplete compiled output will reduce the score by 1 point. So you have a total of 10 points. The delivery method will be to publish each output in Easy DITA. The outputs will be in your repository, and I will retrieve them from the repository. The zip, the Open Toolkit input and the output directory, you'll need to zip and email to me. So there's an example of a data sheet in our repository, and I will show you that. If you go to, you will get a login, and when you log in, if you go to author, and if you go to the Z unit, you will see an example of the data sheet, and I'll go over that in just a little bit here. Okay, so the requirements for that data sheet will be to have all of these things that are highlighted in yellow. You can use your own words and your own image, but you have to have a title, a subtitle, an image, a paragraph, and then these bulleted lists with the exact number of second order lists in the same order. That will be part one. Part two will be to make up an installation procedure. This is not found on the sample data sheet, but just do an installation that has a title, a description, an introductory sentence, a number of steps, and then a concluding paragraph, which would look something like this in XML markup. And then part three is to do the specifications, and the specifications will require all of the parts that are highlighted here in yellow. Again, you can use your own words, but the formatting has to match this formatting. And then part four will be to do ordering information. Again, you'll need to do the your data sheet will need to mimic the things that I've demonstrated here in this yellow markup. And then part five will be to use the conref mechanism, which we will learn about, to conref in the address from an external file, and I will show you how to do that. The required outputs are a PDF file and an HTML file. Publish each of these in EasyData, and I will notify me when they're ready, and I will retrieve them. For grad students, you're required to export the project to your file system and compile DocBook via the DITA Open Toolkit. For graduate students, then you would zip that input and output directory and email them to me. By the way, I will record a separate video for each of the deliverables that will be a step-by-step guide. So I'm not going to give you the step-by-step guide today, but I will do some short demonstrations, and by the time you have this class, you will have access to your EasyData content management system, and I will encourage you to go ahead and to use the resources that are available to try to get a leg up. But rest assured, I will provide for you a step-by-step video for each of these projects. So the next project is D2, to install the DITA Open Toolkit. So you would need to install the DITA Open Toolkit 3.4 from D to L. I will need to create an Open Toolkit directory called mypsu, and in that directory create a concept called myconcept.dita, which includes an image, a reference called myreference.dita, a task called mytask.dita, and a data map called mymap.ditamap. You'll need to compile the HTML and PDF outputs, and grad students will need to compile a DocBook output. Zip the input and the output directory and email them to me. So the evaluation method will be that each file is well-formed and valid. That will be worth 4 points. The image displays in the output. That will be worth 1 point. Each topic correctly links to the map. That'll be worth 3 points. And each output compiles correctly, and that will be 2 points for a total of 10 points. And then the steps would be to download and extract the DITA Open Toolkit, which we've already done in class 3, and then to create the directory, as I mentioned. Then you would create your topic, and you would put an image where it will resolve, and then create your reference, and create your task, and then create your data map. And I'm going to go through these in just a second. And then when you have that, you would invoke the command line, and you would create the HTML file, and you would create the PDF file. Okay. And then we would look at the output and verify that we have the PDF file, and then we have the XHTML file. So that's D2. And then your required output is you would zip those to the input folder and the output folder and email them to me. Okay, so D1 and D2 I will demonstrate a little bit today on this video. because I think that you have a fighting chance of maybe even completing those before I complete the step-by-step guide. The third one probably is going to be a little bit more difficult, and that is to create a tutorial user manual or help system on how to use EasyDita. The minimum content would be the first order function and the second level subfunction. And the success criteria is the user must be able to complete each function, first order function and subfunction, without any other guide or existing EasyDita knowledge. So your requirements will be all of these things. You would need to document how to, an overview of EasyDita, how to log in, how to create a folder, how to create a concept, how to show the code view, how to show a pretty print code view, how to create a new title, a short description, and a paragraph, and a figure with a caption and an image, how to insert a definition list with a term and a definition, how to insert unordered lists with 2 bullets and second order bullets, how to insert a simple table with 3 rows and 3 columns, and to save the concept. You would need to do the same with a reference, and then there would be a slightly different requirement to insert a properties table and then to save the reference. And then finally you would need to document how to create a task, and the difference would be that you would need to add context, steps and 2-step elements with a command. After the second command, add an info element and a note, then you would add a result and then save the task. And then you would need to document how to delete any topic, how to create a DITA map, how to link to the DITA map, how to save the map, and how to publish into HTML PDF, then how to download the HTML and how to download the PDF. And you'd have to document how to add a conref and how to open the concept and add the conref, and then how to download the HTML. Grad students will need to show how to remove a topic from a map and show where a topic is used, and show how to compare one version of a topic to another version of a topic. Grad students are also required to write what is DITA and to show how to download a zip of the map and all of its descendants. What is a concept, reference task, what is a map, and what is content reuse. So those are the requirements. And then you would need to document minimum functionality. The user has to be able to navigate each first order function, how to show code view. It would require a visual aid, a graphic or a screenshot for each first order function, an alternate description provided for each visual aid for users using screen readers or text-only readers. You would have to publish in HTML and PDF, and the grad students would have to compile this in DocBook using the Open Toolkit. The evaluation method, you would be able to get 20 points for this project. Each part A in the first order function is worth 1 point, and so that's a maximum of 10 for undergrad, 9 for grad. Each part B with minimum functionality is worth 2 points, which is worth a maximum of 6 points. Each part C publication requirement is worth 2 points, and the DocBook is worth 1 point for the grad students. So that's a maximum of 4 for undergrad and 5 for grad, which adds up to 20 points. Okay, and as I said, I will do a step-by-step guide for that. And then the final project is the X1 project, to install the DITA Open Toolkit round-trip tool plugin. You would need to translate the guitars project, which comes with the plugin, transform it into XLIF, pseudo-translate it, we'll go over how to do that in class, transform it back to DITA, and compile the DITA to PDF, and compile the DITA, the translated DITA that is, to HTML. Each step is worth 2 points, for a total of 10 points toward the final exam. For the delivery method, email the translated xlif to me, zip the PDF and HTML directories, and email those to me. And so there are steps here, and I will go over, as I said, the steps in the step-by-step guide video that I will do for you. So now let's go to demonstrate D1 and D2 to some extent. Let's start off with D1. So we're in Easy DITA, and we're going to fulfill all of these parts. So if you go into Easy DITA and you log in, you can look at my example here. If you open the DITA master, open the DITA master map, I'm just going to go ahead and open this. And you will see that it links to all of the required parts that I showed you. In the step-by-step guide, I will show you exactly how to make each of these parts. But we have our introduction, we have our key performance specifications for the two products, Unit Z1 and Z2, key features, we have applications, we have applications for the Z1 and Z2, we have the installation procedures, we have specifications, we have the ordering information, and at the very bottom we have our conref, which links to an external source, which is this address. Okay, so as I said, I will do a step-by-step guide which goes through how to create this and how to publish and how to do the extra requirement for the graduate students. And then finally, let's look at the D2 requirement, which is the Open Toolkit. So in the Open Toolkit, you will first of all download the Open Toolkit from D to L, and you will create the myPSU directory. So let's go to that. And I'm going to remove the ones that I've already done. And I'm going to remove myPSU. So this is how you would find, oops, this is how, you would find without the myPSU directory, you would create the myPSU directory, and then inside the, get rid of these, actually I'll leave them there. Make sure that you have an images directory, and inside the images directory make sure that you have a file called fruit03.png. Case sensitive is important, make sure that it's lowercase png. And then you will do a file new and text document, and then you can go into your text document, and for each of the required files, just copy, just copy the text, and then this one needs to be called myconcept.dita. So then you would paste the content, and make sure that if you have a trailing carriage return like this, backspace once, and you have your topic, and just save. And then after you've saved it, rename it into myconcept.dita. So I've already done that with in this example. So I've already completed the myconcept.dita, and I put the image in the images directory, and I named it fruit03.png. I created the, using the same method that I just showed you, my reference.dita, and my task.dita, and my map.ditamap. So I have all of that, and then I'm going to invoke the command line, and I'm going to do these commands. So I have in my ribbon here the command tool. So I'm going to change directory to desktop, change directory into DITA-2020, dir for directory. I'm going to change directory into DITA-OT-3.4.1. Okay, so I'm where I need to be. I do a directory and I see that I have the mypsu directory there. So then I'm going to copy the command line here carefully on the, since I'm in Windows, I'll carefully copy it from here to the end, making sure that I don't get a trailing space. See, I have that, so I'm going to copy that, Control C, go back to my command line and Control V to paste it in there, and it's going to go into this thing called test folder. I think I said I wanted it to be in mypsu out, mypsu out, something like that. And I'll hit enter, and I got this benign error that says unable to locate tools.jar, expected to find it somewhere. I'm just going to ignore that and let it continue to compile. Okay, so I didn't get any other errors, so I think that that worked. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to go ahead and do my PDF file. So I'm going to copy this right up to here. I'm going to go back to my command line because I want to give it a different output directory, and do a Control V and then space my PSUOUT and enter. And again, I got this same benign complaint, unable to locate tools.jar. I think that the PDF file takes a little bit more time to compile because it's invoking the XSLFO, which takes a little bit more time. So that one also finished without any errors. So I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to look in my directory, my output, and I see that I now have this thing called mypsu out. So I'm going to look at that, and sure enough I have my PDF file. And my PDF file has my 3 topics, and it has the fruit picture, good. It has my reference, and it has my task. So I would have gotten full credit for this part of the project. And then I also have this index.html, which has the concept, which has the fruit picture. It says my avocado. Maybe I would adjust that. And I'll go back and I'll see my reference has my reference, and my task has my task. So in doing those steps, I would have fulfilled the requirement and gotten full credit for D2. So it's as simple as that. I will do a step-by-step guide for the D1, D3, and X1. I'll do videos of those, and you should have no trouble with any of those. So please use the time that you have remaining for this class. Go ahead and try logging into EasyDita. There are some tutorials that are in D2L. Take a look at those. You can do some experiments. Try to get yourself a little bit familiar with that tool. And then when the step-by-step guide comes out, you'll be prepared to complete D1. And then also, please go back to your DITA Open Toolkit and do the steps that I just did. Copy the map, the task, and the reference, and you should be able to complete that task, and you can get credit for D1. You don't have to wait until the deadline. You can wait till the deadline if you want to, but I would recommend giving it a try. If you have any questions or difficulties, please by all means contact me, and I will do everything I can to help you. So a rather short class today, but you have a lot of things that I've asked you to do, including becoming familiar with the EasyDita content management system, and to complete the exercises with the DITA Open Toolkit. So please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.